may change at the pumps once again. A disturbing report about one of our local beaches. And a well-known Bimini property back up and running.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow, what a day a difference makes. Less than 24 hours after residents went on the attack complaining about an increase in the cost of gasoline, their prayers have been answered. Tonight we have some good news from the Department of Consumer Affairs. Chief Price Inspector in the Department of Consumer Affairs, Reno Smith, telling the media that effective Friday, July 6, the price of gas will drop by some 17 cents.
We are happy to announce the Ministry of Labor, the Price Control Act of 1971, the Permanent Secretary announced that effective tomorrow, July 6, gasoline as sold by Freeport Oil will be reduced from $5.05 to $4.88. And so we want to share that good news with the consumers and to invite them to fill up as much as they could this weekend.
When asked if the change came about due to the concerns of residents, he says that may or may not necessarily be the case.
It all depends on when the suppliers purchase their gas and from whom they purchase it from. So gas is now cheaper to purchase wholesale, and as a result the wholesalers or the suppliers will now distribute those savings, though it might only be 20 cents, but that's a significant amount, just under 20 cents. They'll pass it on to the consumer.
Now, Smith says that he cannot say how long the price will remain in effect or if residents should expect any further reductions.
We can watch the worldwide market. If prices continue to drop around the world, especially in the oil-producing countries, I'm sure the prices will continue to drop here. However, if they go up, we anticipate that it'll go up here also if the producers of oil go up per barrel.
It makes me feel bad because I have to watch my parents go through it.
Some alarming news tonight about one of the popular beaches in Freeport. Reno Beach was recently marked as unsafe and unhealthy due to high levels of fecal coliform detected in the water, thus causing a health risk for some beachgoers. Kimberly Mullings reports. WATERKEEPERS Bahamas is a part of an international organization known as WATERKEEPERS Alliance. WATERKEEPERS Bahamas regularly monitors beaches on Grand Bahama, Bimini, and West New Providence. Executive Director for WATERKEEPERS Bahamas, Rashema Ingraham, says the team tests samples of popular beaches on the three islands to determine whether or not it is safe for beachgoers to go to the beach, and they publish their results on swimguide.org.
We use products by IDEX, which is a very well-established firm that puts together water safety tests. And so we use that in order to determine whether or not there are high levels of fecal chloroform. And so what fecal chloroform is, in Bahamian terms, is urine or feces. And so usually when there's a heavy rainfall, there would be high levels of fecal chloroform because rainwater goes down into the beaches.
On Grand Bahama, WATERKEEPERS Bahamas tests Gold Rock Creek, Fortune Beach, Reno Beach, Coral Beach, Silver Point Beach, Xanadu Beach, and Lovers Beach. She says beaches marked unsafe continuously fail the tests, resulting in a cause for concern.
It means that something beyond rainfall is causing this to have these results. And so what we're doing now is going into an active investigation to try and figure out what it is now that's happening with popular beaches on Grand Bahama.
Following the last sample testing on Thursday, June 28th, one of the most used beaches on the island, Reno Beach, was marked unsafe for swimming.
With the Reno Beach situation, where it's actually occurring now, we need to investigate that, and we need to protect the safety of all swimmers.
Ingraham says despite the current issue with the beach, the Bahamas still remains a blessed nation.
We have such natural currents, and we have a natural purifier in salt. And so when we realize that there's a rainfall, we know that there may be some results that may be higher than normal. But we're blessed. So we don't normally see results where beaches fail on a consistent basis.
As it stands, Waterkeepers Bahamas is able to monitor the beaches every 2 weeks and hope to do so on a weekly basis as funding becomes available. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Now, for more information on beaches in Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Western New Providence, follow the Waterkeepers page on Facebook. There is another concern developing within our waters. This time, it is linked to one of the country's delicacies. Apparent conch poisoning has been detected, and tonight, local vendors are giving their take on the gorging health concern. Italia Hall reports.
There are reports of several cases of persons falling ill after eating conch. The apparent conch poisoning is being investigated by the Ministry of Health, and while there are no reported cases here on Grand Bahama, we spoke with a few conch vendors to find out if the situation in New Providence is impacting conch sales on the island.
Now here in the International Bazaar, vendors say sales were not moving that quickly, but there's a whole process that they follow before selling conch to customers.
You gotta clean them out with fresh salt water, and you gotta have fresh conch. You can't have them dead. They can't be dead and frozen, because that's what is normally get you sick.
As we prepare the conch, what we do is we have to make sure all the conch's alive as we take them out the water, because we take them out the crawl early in the morning. Sometimes you have like too many dead sets. We have to make sure they don't get on the market.
This restaurant owner sells a number of conch dishes, including conch salad in the downtown area.
I haven't seen a decrease, and the way I prepare my conch is that we get the conch fresh every morning in the shell. So our food is prepared when ordered. So from conch salad to our conch dishes like cracked conch, roast conch, whatever we have on the menu, as you order it, then we take it out of the shell and we prepare it in the back.
Julius Lewis, the owner of Doc's Conch Stand, says for him, he cannot risk persons getting ill, so he even takes an additional step to ensure that his conch is clean.
What I do is, when I break my conchs out, when I clean them, my first dip is in salt water, and then just before I put it on the board, I dip it into fresh water, so that if we have any like bacteria or anything that comes from the salt water, I figure when I put it in the fresh water, the last dip, that'll like clean everything like that.
To decrease the risk of becoming ill after eating conch, the ministry is advising that the conch be cooked, or if eaten raw, it should be thoroughly washed in clean fresh water rather than seawater to remove the bacteria from the conch. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Switching gears now, while homes and businesses on Grand Bahama continue to rebound following Hurricanes Matthew and Irma, one establishment on the island of Bimini is finally back on its feet. After being closed for several months, Big John's is now open for business once again. Big John suffered damage during Hurricane Matthew, and they were also hit by Hurricane Irma. Manager Antonio Santos says the first closure lasted 5 months, while the second blow forced a closure for 8 months. Now that renovations are completed, the property can boast of a new bar, new flooring, wall designs, a wine cellar, new menu items, and DJ equipment. Santos notes that tourism numbers are always growing on that northern island, as they always aim to continue their growth and improvements.
We are always trying to do a little upgrade to make Bimini a little bit more famous. You know, we're trying to get we brought new plates, a few new flavors. We did a nice wine cellar with champagnes, with a lot of new wines, so that the people come here, they feel like, wow, Bimini has something to offer for us.
The establishment employs some 30 staff members, and Santos says that their livelihood was also a concern during the closure.
It was very difficult even thinking about our employees, because we feel like kind of responsible for them, and being closed for 8 months, we were thinking about them because they had no job, they have families behind, they have kids behind, and we fought with them. But I repeat, it was all on our shoulders without any help. Of course, you got some help from the government, we are very grateful for, but just one person, and this is the second hurricane.
Big John's officially reopened their doors back in May after months of hard work. Santos says the renovations took longer than the company would have liked because all expenses came out of pocket.
You know the Bahamas, you know Bimini, you can't buy anything here. So everything has got to come from outside. And this is a long progress to put inside, a lot of paperwork, transportation, everything. So it was a lot from both. A lot of money and a lot of work and time and problems. But now we are very, very happy that we are open again for all Biminians, all Bahamians, and for all the tourists.
Big John's has been a staple in the Bimini community for over 2 decades, and he says he is thankful to residents for their continued support.
I want to say thank you, because as I told you last year, I felt always very welcome here. In the community, they treat us honestly really, really good. We feel like we belong to Bimini, you know. I think Big John's is an institution in Bimini.
Big John's also has 5 rooms upstairs with an ocean view. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.
I would like to entreat all Bahamians to dig in, find out what they are entitled to. I recognize that Bahamians don't know what they have here in this country. It's the best country in the world, especially on this side of the region. And if we capitalize on what we have here, it'll be next to heaven on earth.